Hello, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. Today I'm going to be sharing all my tips and tricks for marathon training and getting ready for a marathon. And this is everything that nobody tells you about running a marathon. Number one, your long run is practice for race day, to a T. Starting from the night before, what time you go to bed, what you have for dinner, what time you wake up, what's for breakfast, what you wear, the hills you run, the fuel you take, the water you drink. Everything should be practice for race day except for your pace. You want to spend as much time as you can on your legs. You know, if you're planning on running like a 4-hour, 30-minute marathon, try to get your longest run as close to 4 hours and 30 minutes. And obviously, like, it probably won't be, since, like, for me, my long run is 20 miles. I'm not going to spend an extra hour trying to make up for that time. Play it by ear. You know, time on the legs is what's most important. If you feel good, you feel good. Just don't go out hard on your long runs. That's what speed workouts are for. Number two, embrace training with tired legs. Your legs are gonna be sore, all right? And your longest run is probably only 18 to 20 miles for that marathon. You shouldn't be running a full marathon while training for a marathon. So if your training plan says that, it might be time to look for a new plan or a new coach. The point is, 18 to 20 miles is your longest run. How are you gonna run an extra 6? Cumulative running. You're running on tired legs every day. Like, I run 4 days a week, so I do 3 days in a row, a day off, and a long run. Those 3 days, my legs hurt. I have a speed workout, a regular, like, long, medium run, and then a tempo workout. And the point is, I'm training my legs to get used to being tired, because the second half of your race is tiring. And I'm practicing, like, changing speeds on tired legs. So that way when race day comes, you know, you start off pretty good and you delay the time that you feel fatigued. And then when you are, you're like, hey, this sucks, but I'm used to it. Number three, and I've literally never heard anybody say this before, and I wish somebody told me this, make dinner reservations if you're traveling for your marathon. I traveled to Philly last year for my first marathon. I'm going back there again. It was impossible to find an Italian restaurant that was affordable and at a time that wasn't 4 p.m. dinner or 10 p.m. dinner, because you're gonna wanna eat dinner at the time that you practice, because if you eat late, you might have a bathroom situation in the morning, and everybody knows porta potty lines are insane. So picture this, New York City Marathon has about 55,000 runners. You're fighting against 55,000 people for a porta potty. And yes, I know there's a lot, but there's not 55,000. So make your dinner reservations, stay in your hotel as long as you can to go to the bathroom, and then make your way to race day. Then wait in a line. Philly lines weren't too bad last year, but I think we got there early. And that's another thing too. Make sure you get to the start line early. You're gonna wanna shake out, warm up. If there's security and you're checking a bag, that takes a long time. So get to the start line early. Number 5, I think, wear thrifted or old clothes to the start line. It's going to be cold. You're probably getting to that start line around 5, 6, maybe 7 a.m. I know for Philly you're not, you better not. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna wear old clothes, warm clothes over your race day attire. And then as you're warming up and you start to feel warm and the gun's about to go off, take your clothes off. I'm pretty sure every marathon donates clothes if you just leave them at the start. So you get to help somebody in need and also not pull a muscle from having cold extremities. I mean, you're standing for a while, so running right off the rip, you're gonna pull a muscle if you just try to go. So keep your legs warm, keep your arms warm, keep your core warm. Also, keep an extra layer on you if you predict that you're gonna finish late. So New York City Marathon can go as late as 10 p.m. Again, it gets cold. And I worked in the medical tent last year, and we did see a couple people getting hypothermia in November. So yeah, keep your jackets. You're gonna wanna put them back on, because when you stop sweating, you're having problems. All right, now this is a big one. When the gun goes off, do not go out too hard. If anything, start off slow. And I know it's gonna be really hard because you're running your marathon, everyone's cheering for you at the start, and the vibes are high. Save that energy, because miles like 14 to 18 to 20, they're brutal. doesn't matter where you are, like that's a hard time to like stay focused. So if you can like not run out of energy early, that'll help you out. Also gonna wanna be hydrating throughout the race, just like you practice in the long runs, all right? So I'm not gonna tell you how much and when to do it, but just maybe don't drink too much water, because then you're gonna throw your electrolytes out of balance, and that's how you end up with severe cramping and you end up in medical. So with that, take electrolytes. My favorite is Noon, but I know there's other companies like Liquid IV, LMNT. I know it's Element, but that totally threw me off. There's another brand, but I don't know right now. I don't know. Pringles, all right? Eat your chips and your Pringles and your pretzels. And, you know, speaking of, have salty snacks ready for afterwards. Because not only are you gonna need it, because I just explained, you know, you're sweating, you're losing your salts, your electrolytes, your magnesium, your calcium, all the ions, potassium. If you don't like bananas, let's get something else, right? I don't want to have salty snacks for after. If you're not already like planning on it and having them ready, you're gonna crave them and just end up at a gas station, so just get them anyways. That's what happened to me. I didn't have Pringles because I was like, oh no, like I'll have pretzels, it'll be fine. No, I ate Pringles for like 2 days straight after that. So you're gonna wanna drink a lot of water and eat a lot of salt, all right? Salt is not that bad for you, all right? So you finished your run, and now what? What you're not going to do is immediately stop in place. One, that's really rude to the people behind you trying to get their marathon finish picture, all right? Nobody ever says that, but it's rude. You are rude if you stop in front of the marathon finish line, all right? But it's also for your safety, okay? Because if you stop running immediately, all that blood is gonna pool in your feet and your body will say, hey, we're passing out now. Because none of that blood is getting to your brain or your heart, and the only way to get it there is to lie down. So just don't stop unless you like passing out in front of people. Speaking of, like when you get a chance, if you do start to feel a little woozy or just not great in general because you just ran 26.2 miles, lie down and elevate your legs. Not only is that gonna help you prevent from passing out because you're voluntarily doing it, but it's also gonna help like drain that lactic acid and a little bit help with the soreness in your legs. Honestly, it's a marathon. It's going to hurt, but it'll be worth it. You get to tell everybody you did a marathon. That's cool, right? I forgot to add this in, but while you're running, your watch will not be accurate. It's gonna be too crowded with people for the satellite to work. And as you weave through people in the crowd, it's gonna add mileage. It's not gonna add up to 26.2, and that's okay. Just go by the course mappings, and if you are, just know that if you run in the middle of the road or the blue line or whatever line marks how they measured the course, you're gonna be running closer to 26.2. Whereas if you're constantly weaving or sticking to the outside of the curves or whatever, if you're not in the middle, you're gonna be running more or less than 26.2. Almost always it's gonna be more just because you are gonna be weaving through people. So don't go pacing off your watch, go pacing off the clocks and the mileage around the actual course. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. And if you're running the New York City Marathon this year or the Philadelphia Marathon, I'll see you there. Bye.